So, yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to this week's episode of AP Tactical TV. And today I got a special guest. I'm gonna let him introduce himself, but tell everybody who you are.
Yeah, my name is Larome White, from Louisville, Kentucky. Play
Yeah, yeah.
professional rugby for the Chicago Hounds.
All right, so we're gonna start off talking about like, what do you like to say you bring to the rugby community as a player?
As a player, definitely as a local guy, well, local to Louisville, but as a player, I'm an American guy. A lot of guys in rugby are from different countries. So it's not too many Americans into it, but it's really a growing sport in America, and like every university has it. So just seeing guys come up from America into the league, and then seeing them grow into, going into international, playing for the USA, hopefully one day, and just kids looking up to me, seeing that I can do it too.
Okay, and how is like, well, the league that you play for is the MLR, and how would you say that the experience with the MLR has been for you, and how do they take care of their players as an organization?
Oh, it's been a great experience. I started playing my senior year of high school, 2012. Played in college at University of Louisville. Got into MLR 2018, the very first year. Moved to Seattle. Lived in Texas for the last 4 years, and now I'm in Chicago. And it's just been a great journey, seeing how much is progressing every year, and seeing how each year it gets better and better when it comes to TV deals, to media, to housing, just to everything. Like each year is a building stone.
Okay, okay. So like, how would you say that you've liked the experience of moving around, traveling to play different teams, the competitiveness?
It's definitely different from where I come from in Kentucky. Here in Louisville, moved to Seattle. Seattle's a pretty big city.
Right.
A little gloomy, but I loved it. That was my first time ever living outside of the city, outside the state, in my life. And I would say living in Austin. Austin was a great. It reminded me of Louisville, college town, warm. Everybody's nice. That southern
Austin is
hospitality.
fire.
Yeah, that
It
southern
is fire.
hospitality is like it's still there. But Chicago's way different. Chicago's a huge city. I lived downtown in the middle of the city in my first season, and I've never lived like in the middle of the big city, in the middle of downtown like that. So it was a great experience, seeing everything, experiencing food, experiencing things to do around town.
Okay. And what are some of the like difficulties with being a professional rugby player that I guess fans or younger athletes really don't see? Some people complain about practice, but what are some of the things that you may have struggled with or had to overcome or see other players have to overcome with?
I would say mainly the stress of being away from family. I mean, that's any athletes for the most part. Being away from family, being away from home. You don't get to see them all the time during season because you're busy practicing every day, or you're busy, traveling for games. So that's my big one. And then you get guys from other countries where they just can't just fly home for the weekend. They're here for the whole season. They have to be away from their family for 6 to 7 months. We have bye weeks, but it's still not sometimes not really worth going back home and then coming back.
Right, right. Yeah, that could definitely be a struggle. I can understand that, especially if you're from another country. Flights ain't cheap.
Right.
Shoot, being able to get back during the COVID season probably had to be hard for some of those guys.
Yes. A couple of guys couldn't even get back into their country during the COVID season, so they had to stay in America, during the off season, staying away from their family, staying away from their friends, and it gets pretty tough sometimes.
Ooh, they felt like real citizens around here. They was locked in. They couldn't go nowhere.
Right.
Well, for you and your career, I guess, what is one of your favorite highlights that you would say from yourself as being a rugby athlete?
Um, Really just the journey. I never thought I would be professional at this sport, but definitely the journey from playing in high school my senior year. I was just thinking, oh, it's just for fun. And then I got recruited to play at Louisville, at University of Louisville. So I played there, again, just thinking it was just for fun. And then I met who's my agent now. His name's Cassette. Took me under his wing, sent me to South Africa, which I've never left the country before. I went 2016. I'm a young kid, never left the country. Went to South Africa, took an opportunity, and ever since then, like things has been, progressing for me. And then I would say definitely my very first year in Seattle, the very first year of the league, we had won the championship.
Right, right.
So just winning the very first championship of this league it was huge. Like I just didn't think I would come this far, and then my career would go this far.
Right. So, like with winning the championship your first year and going to other teams, well, there is a couple questions I got about that. Like, how many other champions have you played with, come across? Has it caused any hate towards you, any extra hype that you got to live up to with being a champion?
I would say definitely. I came across so many different champions over the years, and even the team I play with now, half the team are coming from LA, which they were champions prior years.
Okay.
And just living up to the hype, living up to just to the coaches' seeing, having them noticing that, hey, like this guy can still play from the first year. It's not too much pressure, but like you still gotta you gotta put in the work.
Right.
You gotta show up every day for practice. You gotta show up every time for the games, because coaches watch. They're watching, and as for yourself, you want to keep showing up. You want to keep performing. You want to just feel good that you're playing, that you're still in this league.
Okay, all right. And do you have any rivals in the league? Anybody that you personally have a competition with, or they want to compete with you, and or maybe it's just a friendly rivalry where you both want to see each other do better. You want to challenge each other and push each other more. Is there anybody like that for you?
Yeah, I had a friendly rivalry. This guy, Dominic Bailey, we grew up together, played rugby in high school together. He went off to different college, but, we still push each other to keep going. He played professionally with me in Austin for like 2 years, and, he ended up changing teams. But, like, I still got other guys in the league where the rival is, like, huge, where we're talking shit on the field, or, he's coming at me. Yeah, we talking hella shit on the field right before we make a tackle or right before we sat down for a scrum. So, yeah, there's a couple guys in the league. Just got to hold your own.
Yeah, they always looking out here to take your spot, make you look bad, or put you on a highlight film.
Right.
Ooh, if you get your ankles broken, I'm gonna call you out on that. I'm gonna be at the game. I'm gonna be watching.
I try to do my best. You came to one game.
Yeah.
You came to one of the games.
I need to come to another.
Had you in the stands cheering for me. I see.
Yeah, I was out there getting lit. How many times did you score that game?
I scored once, but it was a huge try.
Yeah.
You
took you a nice run, and then you got you a score over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say that I seen you get smacked, but I didn't see you get smacked. So I'm going to let everybody know you ain't get smacked when I went out there and watched you.
I ain't get smacked thinking. I have been smacked before.
Ooh.
I've been hit sometimes, and it's like, man, should I get back up? like the air got knocked out of me. But, like, that's part of the game. Just get back up, keep going. I smack people. Like, man,
So do you remember who hit you the hardest? Are you willing to say who hit you the hardest?
I ain't going to mention his name. I ain't going to hype him up like that. But I would say the hardest I've been hit was probably in college. Was playing against the Louisville men's team. So I'm in college playing against, grown men. And I go to carry the ball, and I spin. And as soon as I spin, this guy comes and just lays his shoulder right in my stomach. Literally had me on the ground trying to gasp for air.
Ooh.
Oh, falling.
You almost threw in the towel.
Yeah, and that was years ago, and I still remember that hit. God. I've been at college for a while. That was years ago. I still remember that hit.
Ooh. Yeah. You wake up in the middle of the night going,
yeah. So I can't do that in the pros. I'm on TV. I need to get up.
Oh, man. Yeah, I have caught a couple of your games on TV.
Yeah.
On ESPN.
Yeah. We come on, we got ESPN, Fox Sports, CBS Sports. So, yeah, you can always catch us.
All right. And I guess, like, as an athlete, as a personal entity of yourself, are there any, like, sponsorships that you are working with or beginning to work with, I guess, to further your career and get into other things, like any movie deals? Are you rapping?
Not anymore. I'm retired from rapping. No, but I can't really talk about some of that stuff that's in my contract.
Okay.
I might have my agent come on here one day. Maybe he can talk about it, but I can't talk about that stuff right now.
I'm trying to get the inside scoop for the people here at AP Tactical TV.
But just know we drink Gatorade over here.
Oh, yeah. Cool, refreshing Gatorade. Shout out to Gatorade. Yeah. Gotta take us a sip. Team sober.
Team sober. Yeah. But no, like, the journey's been real cool. It's been real cool. And I'm just glad that I'm still in it. I'm glad I'm still going. I'm still young, still healthy. I've had injuries, but for the most part, I'm healthy.
Okay. All right. And then now getting into some of the firearms and things like that. Coming from Louisville, Kentucky, how would you say your experience of firearms have been like growing up? The good, the bad, some of the experiences that you've had with people using guns in a positive way or even in a negative way, and just being around them since it is so frequent in this area.
I would say growing up, my mom, my dad, they were together for about 5 years, 5, 6 years when I was first born, and we always kept a gun in the house. We lived out, Newburgh,
Okay, okay.
and some of the good experiences, like my dad would go out shooting, but we did have an incident where someone tried to break into the house when I was a kid. My dad handled it. He ended up shooting the guy. He didn't kill him. He just wanted to, let the guy know that we have something in this house,
Right.
that he's protecting the family. He doesn't have to go overboard and kill that person. So, there's some good positive things I've seen. Obviously, where we come from and where we live, there's always bad things out, killings, and there's always bad things,
Right. We
But
got people that don't know what they're doing or
yeah,
people with bad intentions. So
yeah,
there's always gonna be people with bad intentions.
yeah. Not you blame the person. You don't blame the weapon. You don't blame the gun. It's
Right.
more on that person. So yeah, and then growing up with Mr. Military, you right here, I
Yeah.
learned a bunch of stuff from you, and going to the range with you and Fonzo and all the boys. So
Shout out to the gang.
shout out
We're
to
not
the
really a
gang.
gang, we an association.
Shout out to the squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, learned a lot from you since you was in the military. You came back. You taught me a lot. How to use the gun, which gun works for you, which gun you kind of suggest for me, and definitely.
Well, I appreciate the shout out there. And, I try to do my part with expanding gun knowledge to new users, experienced users, just to push things in the right direction, moving them forward. But how would you say the difference is from Kentucky to Chicago, where the gun laws are more strict? You're limited to what you can have, even if it is for family protection, personal defense. There's so much around that where I'm just saying like Chicago is highlighted for the gun violence.
And it's hard to get a gun in
Right.
Chicago now, just because so much gun violence. As in Kentucky, you can get a. They don't care.
Yeah.
You can.
You can buy anything from anybody.
You go to Walmart, go get a gun in Chicago. I mean,
Exactly.
here in Louisville. But Chicago's definitely way harder, and there's way more laws on it. And I lived in New York. New York is almost impossible to get a gun or to
Right.
have one. Like it's really impossible to have one
Yeah,
there.
they got a lot of stabbing violence in New York.
Yeah, and if it's not guns, it's going to be something.
Right.
It's just you always got to be safe, and with the gun laws in Kentucky, like you just got to be safe.
Very true. Because, in Kentucky, like, something that I've seen that makes people think twice is like, before they do something crazy, they're kind of like, does he got a gun? The chance of him having a gun is very likely.
Yes.
Now, in cities where it's like New York or Chicago, someone with a gun is like, all right, I got a gun. I most likely got the upper hand. They may have some pepper spray or a taser,
Right.
but I got the gun. I may only have 10 bullets in this gun, but I still got a gun.
Right. People are afraid to put these up sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you got to put these up.
You got to throw them hands.
But you always got to, have it on you. You always got to be
Yeah.
protected. You always got to have it on you because you don't never know what's going to happen.
Exactly. Like, there's way too many incidents where a firearm could have prevented so much,
Right.
where things get over escalated, or a firearm is the reason why things get over escalated, which, we see happen all the time.
Yeah, but, we had the incident where we had the Breonna Taylor, the Black Lives Matter thing going on, and
Right.
that guy pulled his gun out, tried to shoot someone, and someone protected him by using their firearm. Sadly, the guy lost his life, but he pulled it out, tried to protect everyone. Kind of the good.
Yeah. It's very true. Well, now getting into our firearms of the day. Now, something that I wanted to show everybody today is budget firearms for the AR-15 platform. Something that people that they can use for hunting, recreational use, added to the collection if they're just not trying to get into AR-15s. This is something inexpensive for them, and I kind of want to get your input on this as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and grab this out.
Go ahead.
Yeah, got to get out the apocalypse pack. Because we always ready for apocalypse in situations that may or may not happen. But shoot, I got kids. You got kids.
Safety, right?
Yeah. Oh my.
You got it there, young man?
Woo! Yeah, this is more than one gun in here, so gotta get these wheels and swoosh.
You need help or you got it?
I got it.
Cool.
I know you all buff and stuff. You just like to lift heavy things.
Man, that's goofy.
All right.
All right. So what we got in here?
So what we got in here right now that I'm about to pull out is the Radical firearm. You can usually find this firearm brand new, I would say on average like $550. The lowest that I've seen it is on like a Black Friday sale. I've seen it go for like $499, which if you see it out there, you got to pick this up. This is a reliable gun. If you want an AR-15 that you can add accessories to, build and put more parts into, if you're a more experienced shooter or gun owner, this is the perfect platform that you get the straight AR-15 shell, and you can add more to it. You can add your scope. You can swap out the trigger. You can change out the pins. If you want to change the color of this gun, you can do all that for a couple $100. So I'm about to get this gun and get into it.
You made any modifications on yours?
Hold on, let me grab it out.
No, you good.
Now, the question was, have I made any modifications to this gun? Now, this is, see, I don't want to point it at you. It is clear, empty. Safety first. We all want to make it home after this, so safety first. But with this gun, yes, I have made some minor modifications to it, but nothing major, nothing extreme. I've added a red dot sight on here. It's just a basic, cheap one that I got off of Amazon because I wanted to prove the point that without spending $500 on like a dot and other accessories, the gun can still do its job, still be accurate, still be good to go, good for use, take to the range, self-defense, hunting. This is one of my hunting rifles. Go out, hunt some deer with this. Go out, hunt down some boars. Go into Texas later on in the year. About to get busy with this. I got
It's your first time hunting?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get it.
So I got I'm not gonna say the first time in a while.
Yeah.
Like I used to go with my uncle, like my great uncle back in the day, and he used to have the dog, so that's cheating. He go out there send 4 or 5 dogs out there.
Right.
Like they get busy. But like this could hold anything from 10 rounds to 50 rounds in here. 100 rounds if you put the little double drums on here. It could take that mess. So what I've added on here is the red dot, of course, and I got a magnifier on here that's 3 times magnified. For someone more experienced, you can swap out the trigger if you want to. You can put a ambidextrous safety on here. Well, the safety is already ambidextrous. So if you're a left-handed or right-handed shooter, you can use that on both sides.
Yeah.
So that's something that I do like about this. With it being a more inexpensive gun, if you're left-handed or right-handed shooter, you could use it on both sides. So
Go ahead.
check that out.
You remember your first time shooting? Your very first time shooting a gun?
My very first time shooting a gun.
And what kind of gun was it?
It was a little 22, and I shot it in my homie's backyard. He wasn't even supposed to have that. I was actually living in Newburgh.
Wow.
And my homie was like, bruh, he had whispered to me at school one day. He's like, I got a gun. I was like, you got a
He came up to you like that, said it?
Yeah, I was like, you got a gun? He's like, bruh, shh, don't tell nobody. And I was like, bruh, you playing. And I want to say we was in the 8th grade. And I was like, stop playing. I was like, you ain't got no gun. And I'm just taking it as a joke. And then we get off the bus. He's like, bruh, just come over. So I go over there, and he's like, we about to go bark this bitch. And we go out into the woods and shit, and we go shoot that bitch like a couple times. I'm like, I love this shit. So it's like, at that point on, I was like, I gotta get me something. Even if it was a BB gun, if it was a 22 or whatever it was, it sparked my interest in guns. So after that, I was like, all right, bro, like one day, like after high school, matter of fact, I was still in high school, and one day it just clicked. I was like, I'm about to join the Marines. Like, I'm going somewhere. I like guns. Guns, like, I'm not gonna say they don't affect me, but it's like the sound of a gun, the smell of the carbon and things like that, like, it never really took me in the wrong direction of it.
Were you afraid the first time when it went
Shooting
off?
guns?
Yeah.
No. Like I was more afraid of my mama finding out
Right.
than like me going to jail. Like there's one time where like I had BB guns and stuff, and I had got into a fight with a dude in school. Like, well, not at school. We had fought outside of school. Got into a fight with him, and then he pulled a knife out on me. I'm still fighting this dude while he pulled a knife out on me, beat him up. A couple days later, somebody comes to his house and shoots out his back windows. I don't know if it was a BB gun or if it was a 22 or whatever it was, but guess whose house the police come to first? They knocking on my door. Right. And like literally like a couple days before I fought him, my mom found my BB guns. I got in trouble. She took them away. I don't know where they was at. She hid them. But I'm glad she did that because the day the police came, like, mom was like, nah, he ain't got no guns. I found him a couple weeks ago, took him away. He's still on punishment for it right now. He ain't even been outside. Yeah. And I'm like, when did punishment was ever gonna save my life? But I was like, what? I was like, damn, she right. And it was like, I wasn't even thinking of it at the time. I said, I am on punishment. Right. I ain't even been outside. Yep. I was like, why he sending the police to my house? But, you know, karma, like, if he pulled a knife out on me and we fighting, there's no telling how many other people he done pulled a knife out on, how many other people he beefing with. True. Oh, but on the negative side, now there has been a day like living back in Newburgh. Like me and my homie come get me. Matter of fact, this wasn't even my homie, bro. Like one of the guys in the neighborhood come get me. Like I'm outside, we kicking in and stuff, and then he's like, "You want to walk to McDonald's?" And you know, I was a chubby kid, like going to McDonald's. Yeah, I was like, this is 8th grade, maybe freshman year. No, this is 8th grade, and I'm like, yeah, let's walk to McDonald's. But I got $7 in my pocket. Right. The dollar menu was hitting. I wanted some McChicken and some fries.
I missed the dollar menu.
Exactly.
More dollar menu. I missed the dollar menu.
Yeah, so I was with it. It was gonna be for the low. So I'm like, all right, let's go to McDonald's. So if you know the Louisville area, you know Newburgh and you know Norfolk. Mm-hmm. If you're from Newburgh, you don't really go to Norfolk. Like they already know that you're not from there. And it's vice versa. They don't really go to Newburgh like that. They don't fuck with each other. So we hop the fence. Like where I'm saying that, like you walk down past the Circle K, you go to this neighborhood, you hop the fence, get into Norfolk, you go down the way, you go to the McDonald's. It is what it is. You done made it through that day. Right. So we go down there. Yeah, we go down there. And then all of a sudden he's like, hold on, bro, I gotta make this stop real quick. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, hold on, I gotta just go to this house real quick, get some money. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm not thinking nothing of it. He knocks on the door. Another dude's mom come to the door. He's going off on dude's mama. Now, his mom's like, all right, when he come out here, he gonna get you and him. I'm like, bro, what? Right, me and him? I'm like, bro, this is some bullshit. So go back on the trail, and all of a sudden this little car pulls up. Calls him over there, and he's like, he's got a gun. We take off. Like, I'm hopping fences with barbed wire on it. I don't give a fuck. So, get off, take the dip, get to McDonald's, chill at McDonald's for a little bit. Like, I'm like, bruh, should I walk home? Should I get on the Tark? Bruh.
Called your mama, didn't you?
Nah.
Mama, come pick me up.
I made that walk, but I ain't walk with that nigga. I walk by myself.
Yeah.
Walk by myself, exactly. And I was too young back then to have it on me.
Yeah, true.
Man, so made it through that day. It was I ain't gonna say an easy day, but it was a day that I ain't go home and tell my mom about because I still want to walk to McDonald's. You know, that McDonald's, is overcoming from what had happened that day. And, I ain't had no beef with nobody. But being that age, if I did have a gun, I don't know if I'll be sitting here right now. So that's also a thing with guns that you have to be in the right mindset. You have to be mature enough to have your firearm. So having a good influence in your life to get you ready for the use, but the maturity is kind of on the gun owner.
Right.
So it's like that person that was pulling a gun out over somebody knocking on the door disrespecting their mama. that could have been a quick ass whooping. Like he probably would have got his ass whooped because there was two of us. You know, you kind of got to have that code. If we walking together, someone come whoop your ass, they may not get the fair one. We gonna jump his ass and we gonna continue on our walk, and then we may have a fair one because you done put me in some shit.
Right.
But that's basically how it went that day for one of my experiences. Before I was really old enough to have a gun. Trying to think of another one.
It's always something.
Yeah.
Now you got
multiples. Like,
yeah,
I like guns. I got a collection.
So what you like about that one?
One of my favorite things that I like about this one right here is the reliability. It is rare that I'm gonna catch a jam out of this gun. Now, with the AR-15 platforms, you do gotta baby them, take care of them, lubricate, clean them. Now, when I do catch a jam, I'm at the range. Like for me personally, I'm going to the range once a week, once every other week.
So you be jamming over here?
No. See, I don't be jamming, but my problem is I go to the range, throw it in the case. Don't think about it. Goes back to the range, throw it in the case. Don't think about it. Go back, throw it in the case. And then maybe the fourth or fifth time I'm at the range, and I'm thinking I'm gonna light it up. Doom, 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 doom. I'm like, oh, catch a jam. I'm like, when was the last time I cleaned this thing? Right. And I'm like, oh, I've been neglecting my gun. Like, oh, I feel ashamed of myself.
Yep, you take it back to the basics.
Yeah, then I pull out my little cleaning kit, give it a little scrub, and then it's back to doing what it do. Like smooth, operational. Also, it does have M-LOK rails here. So with these rails here, you can add you different accessories such as a light. You can add you a grip, a handle, whatever you want to do there. You can swap out this pistol grip for whatever brand you like. I've seen some where it's got like compartments. You can put a bullet in there. You can put some oil in there. Whatever you like.
So you saying people, that want to get into ARs, this is one of the best ones to start with?
Yeah, I would definitely say the Radical Firearms is definitely a good brand, American made. They do got good customer service. That's my second one. So I don't mind those. Another brand that I would recommend is the Smith & Wesson M&P Sports Series. Those ones is cool, but those ones get a bad rep because a lot of mass shootings in America, that's what they're using. Because
I like the Smith & Wesson too.
Yeah, so they do get a bad rep due to that because when things come out, that's what they was using, unfortunately.
What else you got in the case?
So what else I got in the case is now for our more expensive side. Let me go ahead, drop that there. And this one, you can get this as a newer shooter, but
hold this.
Now I'm gonna drop this in here. Oh, I'm rubbing all up on the mic. Woo!
Which one? Picking that one up. Which one's heavier?
Heavier. This one right here. This one is a smaller barrel, but the parts and components are premium parts.
And what is it again?
This is the Springfield Saint Victor. So Springfield Saint, if you're looking for something that you're gonna take during a zombie apocalypse, or if you got dropped off in the Middle East and you needed you something reliable, this is that beast. Like, this version right here is a 308. It shoots 7.62 as well. So with it being able to shoot different variations of bullets, I would say that's a cool part about this. Shooting a 308, it's a one and done. Like, you get hit with the 308, you're dropping whatever you're shooting at. One thing that I do like about this gun is the trigger. It's a flat facing trigger. So for getting a nice texture on your finger, being able to shoot follow-up shots, this is a smooth guy to have. The bolt, which is your piece that's right here that feeds and gets everything through. Basically the main components to continue your weapon from firing. Once again, premium. Like, it just feeds well, so smooth. The accessories, that you can add to this, same as the one you can add to the radical firearm. Something that this doesn't have that the radical has is the ambidextrous safe.
Oh,
This is
what's that? What kind of?
this is just
What's
right-handed.
the right-handed?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right-handed shooters. That's something that I have seen that a lot of AI platforms do. They do favor towards a right-handed shooter. That's something I've had struggles with teaching people. My brother is a left-handed shooter. Um, my girlfriend's son, left-handed shooter. So, man, I've happened to stumble across at least 5 left-handed shooters.
Oh, you feel
Like, yeah, so like it throws me off. So like I had to learn how to shoot left-handed to teach left-handed shooters,
right.
especially with my brother. Like we went to the range. He's now in the army, and trying to teach him how to shoot left-handed, it was something new to me. And I wanted us both to be safe at the range, where it's like I don't want to give you wrong information and try to force you to shoot right-handed when you're supposed to be shooting left-handed. So I had to learn myself. I had to learn how to figure out how to shoot left-handed. It didn't feel right. It felt dirty. Dirty.
You gotta tell people when we went to the gun range.
Yeah.
Remember when I was out shooting you?
Nah, that didn't happen.
Man.
So now this man saying he outshot me at the gun range.
Oh man.
Now, you got to tell the truth. Am I a good gun teacher?
Oh, definitely.
So
Yeah, definitely.
if you do outshoot me, it was because of my teaching.
Oh, okay. The next time we go to the gun range, we'll bring the camera.
Of course.
We'll have to show them.
We're going to bring the camera out there. We're going to do a 5-shot challenge. We're going to see who shoots better. Like, I got a lot of accessories on my firearms. So it does make it easier for beginner shooters, experienced shooters, expert shooters. That is, like, a benefit, though. It's like
the way... You recommend that, like, first-timers, like, come with no accessories and just get used to kind of shooting without anything?
I would.
Without any scopes, without any...
Yes, just so they can learn, like, the levels. Like, there are levels to this shit.
Right.
Like, where if you're using iron sights, the benefit of using iron sights are, like, if your battery ever dies on this thing or if it breaks, you can go back to the basics. You know how to use it. You know how to get it dialed in. Now, when it comes to the toys and accessories on here, there are, like, some people think you just slap on a red dot and it's ready to go. Right. You have to make tweaks. You have to make adjustments to get it there. So when you're at the range, like, you could be wasting about 50 rounds to get it to where you want it. But to make sure it's fine-tuned, like, I've shot thousands of rounds out of these guns to make sure that it's still up to date, still fine-tuned. Like, before I'm even having fun with these things, I'm like, bruh, I'm spending at least $80 in ammo alone just to get these to where they need to be.
Right.
Now, you don't have to spend $80 in ammo alone. You could get, like, larger groupings, but I like tight groups where it's like if my follow-up shot, I'm trying to hit near that same exact spot or that same exact spot. If not, I'm not going to say I'm a perfectionist, but it makes me, like, cringe.
Right.
It makes me sick. Like, I got to get me some nice shots. I can't be having those bad shots.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Definitely got to have practice between it. And that's why I do spend so much on guns. I do have fun with guns, and, like, I take my girlfriend out shooting every now and then. Like, she's now getting into it to where she's like, she went from being scared of guns to where she's like, I kind of like this. Right. Where it's like, if I would have sent her out there by herself, said, go pick up a gun, go figure it out, she could have went to the pawn shop and just grabbed some mess, and it may not have been the right fit for her. It may not be a gun that she's comfortable using. She may buy the gun and never take it to the range. May not know how to load up bullets and things like that, which...
So you think, like, everyone should at least give it a chance?
Yeah. Everyone should give it a chance. Some people may need to be supervised while giving it a chance because, like, it may be more of a shock to you hearing that sound, the smells. Like, that's just something that comes with it that people may not expect. Like, the smell of carbon is a distinct smell. It used to make me sick, and then I got used to it. Then I'm like, oh, okay. I got past that. But shooting pistols and 9mm, it doesn't got that same smell. So starting off with those, and it's like, oh, then you get to your bigger guns that do have like a distinct smell to them, or you hear, or you smell the oil burning from it being lubricated. That could be another smell. But
So
other
what
than
I'm trying to
that,
look for, let me. I need to see one of those rounds.
all right, all right. Well, I'm gonna let you hold this real quick, and then I'm also gonna let you get a hold of those rounds. All right, you feel the weight
Yeah, it
difference?
is a weight difference.
Yeah, because that's shooting a more higher pressure round. Um, put your finger on that trigger right there. Like you like the way that feels.
Don't say it like
No.
that. But no, yeah, it is a little bit more comfortable than the other AR.
Yeah, like that's a premium trigger right there. Also, I was talking about like some of the handrails, you could get compartments where you can put different accessories in, or you can put your oil for lubrication in it. Right here, this pops open. If I get a nice tug, you can put your oils in there, whatever you want to put in there, a couple extra bullets, and you just got that extra space. Like it comes in another compartment.
Nice.
That's those premium parts I'm talking about. It's the little things that make that price jack up so much. Now,
That's a heavy one though.
yeah, 10-inch barrel,
How's the recoil
bruh, on the 308.
compared to the 5.56?
Bruh, I don't notice that 5.56. That 308 right there, that bitch push you like a couple. Now I ain't gonna say a couple inches back. That's over exaggerating.
It's soft.
But that thing got some kick.
Oh, I bet.
Like when I took some of the homies to go shoot that thing, like they like it punched me. Like, but they not used to it. But my little sister, she's on. She just turned 17. Once again, one of those people that I've been taking to the range for a while. I've been taking her to the range since she was 11. She shoots the first AR with one hand. She shoots my pistol one hand. She's going ham. Like she's sending multiple range. She's sending multiple rounds down range. But when she got a hold of that, I'm like, all right, here. I explained it to her. It's a bigger round. It's gonna kick you a little bit. She took 2 shots and was on. She was boom, 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 boom. I'm like,
Which
damn.
one? Because we went to the gun range one day and I shot one. Did I shoot both of these?
Nah, you shot the Radical, the X-Tar, the PSA Dagger, and the Canic.
Oh, okay.
And I got the Canic on me right now, just to let people know what you're shooting. Now I made some changes and some adjustments to this Canic right here. I've got a new red dot on there, so I got the Hollow Sun on here. One of the one that I got on here now is a 6 MOA Hollow Sun red dot. It's more for competition shooting because I'm about to get into competition shooting. I'm about to start really getting in here, showing people what's happening.
You gotta be careful. There ain't no safety on that one.
Yeah, there ain't no safety. So if I pop myself, then I popped myself. The gun did not pop me.
Exactly.
I popped myself.
Yeah.
So it does happen to people all the time. Negligent discharges. It could be something that's being careless, or just something that's it being a real honest accident that caused that. But me personally, I do recommend no safety over a safety, because in a situation where someone could be coming for your life, and if you could get to your gun fast enough, like you don't want to have to worry about taking it off safety. So that's why I say that no safety is better than safe at all times. I think my other camera cut off. Hold on real quick. Maybe not. Yeah, it did cut off, but that's fine.
Just cut off or even on?
I don't know.
Never cut on.
No, it cut on. It was on for like 40 minutes.
Okay.
So they say no safety is better than safety. But that's just me personally. Now, there are some parents out there, even if it's not parents, just some people feel better with a safe. And that I would say that is a good idea to have as a selling point.
Are you afraid to fight?
No, I'm not afraid to fight.
Oh, okay.
Like, I was born with ass beaters. It's a weird disorder not everybody was born with, but I do got ass beaters. Like, that's something that I had to like get used to like getting older. Not every situation calls for a fight.
Yeah.
Like, been suspended multiple times from school just because I want to fight somebody. It was like, even if the situation wasn't that big of a deal, like we went to middle school together.
Yeah.
So like going to Westport Middle School, and
Always a
then
fight.
like I was always fighting somebody, and that truly wasn't even my home school, but like not understanding at the time of how the severity was, where I guess like staying out of trouble, where I didn't know I could get kicked out of middle school. I thought expulsion was a thing we seen on TV. Like I was like, quit playing. Like I got called into the office, like coming back from school after winter break. They was like, you don't go here no more. Like straight faced. I was like, what do you mean I don't go here no more? It was like, this isn't even your home school. So I had to go to Newburgh. And it was cool, but it was like I wasn't with the guys that like I started off with from middle school. So it was one of those things where I had to learn.
I remember you did move away and then came back in high school.
Yeah. We had to figure it out. Man, hold on. I got to tell you about like what happened when I'm first going to Fern Creek. So like I'm on the bus, like, so coming from Newburgh, you usually go to Fern Creek or Seneca, sometimes Mayo and a couple other schools. But I'm going to Fern Creek. I'm on the bus. This is probably like it's in the first week of school. So there's a fight that breaks out on the bus. A dude gets pushed up against the emergency exit, gets the emergency exit door flipped open and gets kicked out the door. And I'm like, bruh, there ain't no way I'm going to this school. I was like, these is the niggas I'm going to school with every day. I was like, bruh, we got to figure something out.
Right.
Like, I can't continue to go here. I'm going to turn into one of them. Right. I already like fighting.
I like fighting, yeah.
Yeah. So,
that makes sense.
Had to get it together.
That's why I play rugby. Put my anger in there. I like fighting too much too. I fight out there. I gotta control myself out there.
Man, it'd be crazy, but you can definitely fight. But now that I got the dad bod, I'm getting pudgier. It's cool to have the gun.
Yeah, come work with your boy. I'll get you together.
All right, I may have to. You come work with me at the range. I'll come work with you at the gym.
Got you.
Get both skill sets together. Exactly. Like, so, is there anything else you want to say to the people as you're here on AP Tactical TV?
I just want to say thanks for having me on.
Anytime.
Shout out to 400 Recording for having me here, having me on. Thanks, AP. Appreciate it. We've been boys forever.
Yeah.
We'll stay boys.
We lit.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and this is AP with AP Tactical TV, and we out.